Hey Cardinals, I'm Counselor Mrs. Alpert, and here is
Counselor Vanessa Soto. To wrap up our Mental Health Awareness Month, we're going to be talking to you about what to do when you have a friend who's struggling with mental health. So please join us today as we go through our presentation, and hopefully this can be of some use to you.
So Mrs. Soto will begin with
our menu of topics today are how you can help your friend, where can you find help for your friend, what ways can you take care of yourself and your own mental health, what to do when your friend just isn't ready to receive professional help, and where you can get additional information. Hey Cardinals, let's begin with how we can help our friend. The first and best thing that you can do is just simply be there to listen, right? Provide a safe space for them to share their thoughts, their experiences. It's key for them to be able to feel like they're being listened to and heard. Sometimes we don't want advice and we just need a space where we can vent and share our frustrations. So providing that active listening where you're making a conscious effort to hear and understand and remember the information that's being told to you is so much better than listening to respond sometimes, which is where we're listening so that we can give our advice or our opinion, right? And maybe one thing you want to do is learn about some mental health and good coping skills so that when they do come to you for advice, you probably have some good stuff that you can give to them. Now, you can also learn together, right? Learn about mental health and good coping skills by going to mental health resource fairs or by checking in with your counselors or searching for mental health services in the community. You can share your own experiences with mental health as well. So maybe you've gone through something similar that your friend is going through and you have some great advice, right? Before sharing your own experiences, you want to consider asking if your friend wants to hear about what you've gone through. Sometimes we don't really want to hear what other people have gone through, and we just want to share our own experiences and our own struggles. So checking in with them first is key to making sure that they're going to be comfortable hearing what you've been through. Some friends are going to openly welcome the advice because they know that you've been through it and they are going to be able to get the help that they need. Lastly, you might want to ask them what has worked for them in the past. Sometimes when we're struggling with our mental health, we forget what has worked for us in the past. So just asking them, hey, what's worked for you in the past? What's helped you calm down? What's helped you relax? Can help them reflect and think about what will work for them, right? Lastly, you can also offer practical advice. Sometimes we don't need somebody to help us process and understand our feelings. What we need is someone to walk us to class, to just call us in the evening, to tell them, hey, I've been thinking about you. You might want to even show them where the guidance office is. Maybe they don't even know who their counselor is, right? You can even offer to be just a study buddy. Sometimes just having somebody with us is all we really need at that moment. Now that you've provided your friend with all the support that you can yourself, let's help connect them with some resources. At school, you can help them connect with their school counselor, with the mental health counselor, Ms. Liz Leal, with your teachers, or through the guidance office, they can connect with the student well-being program. In the community, your friend can always reach out to their primary care doctor, attend the Whole Child, or attend various support groups in the city of Whittier. Online, there are a number of different resources we want to highlight, like the California Parent and Youth Helpline, the Teen Line, or various mental health apps such as MindShift, My3, and MoodFit. Now, remember, in an emergency or crisis, you want to call 911. Your friend can also reach out to the LA County Mental Health Crisis Hotline or the National Suicide Prevention Helpline. Now, while we hope you never have to use these resources, we want to make sure that you have them just in case. Now I'm going to pass it over to Ms. Alpert to continue the presentation.
Thank you, Mrs. Soto. Now I'm going to be covering taking care of you. So supporting someone else can have an effect on your own well-being. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, upset, or angry when someone that you care about is experiencing difficulties. So it's important to take care of your health too. So manage your mental health by being mindful, being forgiving with yourself, and knowing your limits. Sometimes when we've been helping out someone for a long time, we might start to feel tired or maybe start to believe that we haven't been helpful. So taking care of your physical wellness is important. Getting enough sleep, anywhere from 8 to 10 hours, is always excellent. Getting some exercise and releasing those endorphins is great. And participating in activities that bring you joy is always good for everyone. And boundaries. An important part in any relationship is boundaries. So even though you want to help, it's important to think about your limits, such as what you're willing to put up with and what you are not. So be clear about your limits. You are not supposed to fix everything, and it's okay to take time for yourself away from your friends if it's affecting your mental health. So, for example, it's reasonable and healthy to ask a friend not to call you or text you after a certain time. Have an open conversation about your boundaries so that everybody is clear. And remember to reevaluate your boundaries and make changes if needed. What may have worked at one point may not work in a month or in a year. And lastly, seek support for yourself if needed. So if you feel like you're going through a hard time, it is important to seek support for yourself. And any of the places that Mrs. Soto mentioned is a good start. Next, we will cover what if a friend isn't ready for help. This is a hard situation, especially because sometimes you may see that your friend is having a tough time, but you feel like they aren't doing anything about it. People naturally think of what might be causing the problem and wonder why that friend isn't seeking help. But remember that it isn't your job to diagnose an illness or give treatment advice. Accusing or confronting a friend likely isn't going to be good for anyone. So remember to be supportive, be calm, non judgmental. Let them know that you are a good person to talk to whenever they are ready. Also, respond to problems that they themselves bring up. So, for example, if they share that they are having a difficult time concentrating at school, you might want to suggest for them to talk about that problem with someone who can help, like a teacher or a counselor. Also, trying various ways of communicating, like chatting or texting. Sometimes talking about tough things might be easier over an evening text or a phone call, or maybe going for a walk or inviting them to a coffee shop. And let them know that you are there to help whenever they are ready. Also, if you are really concerned about your friend, get them support through Texative, which is, you know, the number is available on the back of your student ID card, or your counselor or another trusted adult. Your friends might be upset that you brought others into the situation, but remember, it's more important to keep people safe. Next slide is where can I find more information? Feel free to visit our guidance page. There you will find Mrs. Lea's website for mental health resources and support. As you can see, she has her office information with extension, email information, as well as her Instagram page. And she also has a really cool virtual classroom with lots of resources like parenting resources, suicide prevention, support groups, and much more. So check it out. Thank you so much for listening and for joining us for Mental Health Month. Have a great rest of your day and remember to be kind and a cardinal with class. Bye.